Today we will see this pre-stress concrete. This is the one of the parts for the competitive examination. So what we are going to see, what is pre-stress, what is pre-stress concrete, what is pre-stress concrete, then what are the systems of pre-stressing, what are the systems of pre-stressing, and there are three concepts. Okay, stress concept, strength concept, and load balancing concept. Okay, these things we are going to see today. Stress concrete, then systems of stressing, stress strength and load balancing concept. Okay, so we will go one by one. First here, stress concrete member. What is the pre-stress? So if you go by definition, then a pre-stress concrete member is a member of concrete in which internal stresses are introduced in a planned manner. Okay. So we introduce the internal stresses in the concrete member so that the stresses resulting from the loads are counteracted to desired degree. So what is the meaning of this? Now suppose if I draw the diagram, okay, so instead of here I will draw it on the board. We will take the board. See, stress concrete. Now, suppose now this is a beam. This is a beam. Now here is this beam. This is the axis. I will draw the axis first. This is the neutral axis. Okay, at the center. Instead of axis, we will go directly. I will draw the reinforcing bars. Okay. So suppose now here the reinforcement is provided. This is the reinforcement. Okay. Then in the pre-stress concrete, what we do normally, first of all, this reinforcement is provided like this. Though these parts are not inside the beam, those are provided like this. Okay. And with the help of jack, okay, jack is the arrangement which is made, which is look like this. This type of some arrangement is there, which is used to give the pre-stress or to stress the tendon. Okay. For stressing the tendon, some arrangement is there. We call it as jack. Okay, so this is called as jack, and this is the bar. This is called as tendon. In pre-stressing, this is called as tendon. Okay, so what we do normally, we apply the stress on this tendon externally. Okay, what we do externally, externally we apply the stress. Okay, apply the stress. So when we apply the stress externally to this tendon by using this jack assembly is there, okay, then what will happen, there is a stress developed in this tendon. Okay, in this tendon the stresses are getting developed. Okay, and those stresses are from this tendon, it is, or from this bar, it is transferred to the concrete which is present over here. Okay, and this beam will become strong in tension as well as in compression. Okay, both the strengths are increased due to this pre-stressing. This system is called as pre-stressing. So pre-stressing is nothing but a beam is there, normal beam is there, but what we do, we apply the external stress or external forces or tensile forces on this uh, tendon. Okay, so that the stresses get developed over here in this tendon, and when the stresses is induced in the tendon, then that stress is transferred to the concrete which is surrounded over here. Okay, and these stresses are very helpful to counteract the stresses which are developed due to the load. Okay, these pre-stresses, the developed stress, this is called as pre-stress, and these stresses are very helpful to counteract the stresses which is developed due to load. So due to load, which type of stresses are developed? Due to load, which types of stresses are developed? Basically two types. First is the direct stress. Okay, you know that direct stress, that is P by A, and second is bending stress. Second is what? Bending stress. And what is the bending stress? It is M by Z. You know that this is P by A and this is M by Z. So these two stresses are get developed due to load. So if you pre-stress the tendon, if you apply the stress on the tendon externally, here I have written, okay, then the result of that is there is a stress induced in this tendon, and this induced stress is called as pre-stress. Pre means before, pre-stress, name itself suggests you pre-stress म्हणजे आधी स्ट्रेस केलेलं त्याला म्हणतात pre-stress. Okay, so pre-stress, stressed before, that is your pre-stress, meaning of pre-stress. Okay, so these tendons are stressed first, and then they either they put into this what we can say beam. Okay, so this is the pre-stress. Is there any problem in this concept of pre-stress? समजलं नसलं तर विचारा. I will repeat once again pre-stress. What is the pre-stress? I will repeat once again. Let me know. Have you understood? What is the pre-stress? Yes, no? Or shall I repeat once again? Repeat. Okay. Okay. See, what is the pre-stress? I will repeat once again. You see that. Suppose now a normal beam is there. What is our normal beam? It is made up of concrete and steel. Okay. Pre-stress is also same. It is made up of concrete and steel only. But what we do, these steel bars are there now. We apply external stress on these steel bars. Okay. Externally, we apply the stresses on these steel bars. Okay, and when you apply the stress on these steel bars, the stresses get induced in this steel bar, and those stresses are called as pre-stress. तुम्हें आप जो बाहर से उसको स्ट्रेस देने वाले हो, बाहर से उसको एक्सटर्नली जो स्ट्रेस अप्लाई करने वाले हो, तो कैसे करेंगे, क्या करेंगे, वो बात की बात है. उसको सेपरेट असेंबली, देयर इज अ सेपरेट असेंबली फॉर दैट. इट इज कॉल्ड एज जैक एंड असेंबली. Okay, that is the different part. How it is to be done is the different part. But for the concept, for your understanding, what I am telling you, it is like a normal beam only, which is made up of concrete and steel. But the just one change is there. That is, we apply the external stress on these tendons. Okay, and that external stress is called as pre-stress. Now, why we apply this external stress? Okay, so this external stress helps us to counteract the stresses which are developed due to the loads, that is due to dead load and live load. Okay, so dead load और live load की वजह से कौन से stresses develop होते हैं? Which stresses are developed due to dead load and live load? There are basically two main types of stresses which are getting developed. First is the direct stress, okay, and second is the bending stress. So to counteract these two stresses, we apply the external stress to this tendon. Okay, counteract means to balance. To balance these stresses due to dead load and live load, we apply external stress on this tendon. And this external stress which is applied on the tendon is called as the pre-stress. Okay. फिर इसके बाद क्या होगा, अगर आपने इस टेंडन को स्ट्रेस किया, यहाँ पे अगर एक्सटर्नली स्ट्रेस आपने इसको दिया इस टेंडन को, तो इट विल ट्रांसफर इट्स स्ट्रेस टू कंक्रीट, सराउंडेड कंक्रीट. ओके, एंड द होल इन द होल स्ट्रक्चर दिस स्ट्रेस is getting transferred. Okay, and this structure becomes more strong due to this pre-stress. Okay, So this applying the external stresses on the structure to desired degree, it is nothing but the stress. Is it okay now, or shall we move further, or once again you want to repeat this? Is it okay? Yes, no? Okay. Yes, okay. So now again we will move to our slide. Okay, now here you can read. These are my notes. I have written this. So, prestressed concrete member. A prestressed concrete member is a member, okay, of concrete. So the prestressed concrete member is a member of concrete in which the internal stresses are introduced, okay, in a planned manner. Okay, in a planned manner. So we plan how much stress is to be needed, how much stress we should induce in that member. That all the things are depending upon the calculation. Those we will see later on. Okay, planned manner. So that the stresses resulting from the loads, these are the stresses. Here they have written the stresses resulting from the load. So which type of stresses are resulting from the load? I already told you. Direct stress and bending stress. Okay, P by A and M by Z are counteracted. Counteracted means counterbalance or are balanced to desired degree. Okay, so to balance these two stresses, we do this. Is it clear now? So it is now very simple to understand if you read it carefully. A prestressed concrete member is a member of a concrete in which internal stresses are introduced in a planned manner so that the stresses resulting from the loads are counteracted to desired degree. Okay, as per our need, as per our want, it get counteracted. Okay, so now this is about the stress concrete member. So some significant points about this we are going to see now. So okay, here the first point. Okay, what is the necessity? The concrete has why we go for the stress concrete. Okay, that is also an introduction of this stress concrete also covered in all these points. So we will go one by one through all the points. So concrete has a high compressive strength as compared to its low tensile strength. So all of us knows that concrete is very good in compression, but it is weak in tension. Okay, that is the first point it has given to be start with. Okay. So in continuation with that, in next point what they have mentioned, it is not difficult to make a concrete which can have a strength over 40 Newton per mm square on 150 mm cube after 28 days of curing. Okay, so they told us that we can even make the concrete of grade M40 also. We can make the concrete of grade M40. Okay, how do we make this? First we need to do the mix design. So what we will do? We will do 150 by 150 by 150 cubes for testing. Okay, and this strength is achieved after 28 days, 40 Newton per mm square. So in short, it is a concrete of M40. So what they have says us, what they are saying us, it is not difficult. So it is not difficult to make a concrete which can have the strength of 40 Newton per mm square. Okay, so we can make a concrete of this much of strength. Hmm? But it is very difficult to obtain the tensile strength greater than 2.5 Newton per mm square. Now you see the difference. 40 kuta and 2.5 kuta. Okay, so concrete can take a maximum compressive strength, but it is very difficult to obtain the tensile strength greater than 2.5 Newton per mm square. Okay, so see how much low tensile strength is there. This is why concrete is reinforced with steel bars. Okay, this is why concrete is reinforced with steel bars in such a directions where the tensile resistance has to be offered. So now, yeah, paragraph you will get the answer of this question. That now see, we always say that in design and all these things, or in every member, in every structure, you might observe that there is, along with the concrete, the steel bars are also provided. Okay, कभी आपने सोचा है क्या कि ये स्टील बार्स क्यों प्रोवाइड करते हैं हम? If we eliminate those steel bars, then our structure cost will get reduced. Now, if we only make the members structure by using the concrete only, why we use the steel along with the concrete? The answer of this question is lies in this paragraph or in this point. Okay, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता ना कि हमने सिर्फ बीम में कंक्रीट ही डाला है, उसमें स्टील नहीं इंसर्ट किया, नहीं डाला है स्टील रॉड्स, तो क्या होगा? Okay, why can't we construct like that? Yes, we can construct like that. Okay, आप बना सकते हो ऐसी बीम की जिसमें सिर्फ कंक्रीट है, स्टील नहीं है. There is no steel in that beam. But what will be the problem with that beam is that it is very strong in compression. Okay, as it is made up of concrete. But if the tensile stresses or tensile loads are act on that beam at any point or any junction, then it will get failed because the concrete is having lower tensile strength, that is 2.5 Newton per mm square. So in practice also we always use the combination of steel and concrete. We know that steel is very good in taking the tension and concrete is very good in taking the compression. So to avoid the failure of the structure, what we do, wherever the tensile resistance is required, there we provide the steel rods, and in the remaining space we poured the concrete. Okay, in the remaining space we poured the concrete. So that is why we combine steel and concrete. This is the reason. Okay. So this is what it is said in this point. So if we move to the next point, now see here, next point. In the reinforced concrete members, due to low tensile resistance of concrete, the large quantity of steel is provided so that entire tensile resistance is offered by the steel in reinforcement. No special means are provided to prevent the concrete offering the tensile stresses. Okay. So here what they have said in this paragraph is that if you take any normal RCC beam, if you take any normal RCC beam, it is made up of concrete and steel. Okay. What is the role of concrete there? Concrete will take the compressive stresses. What is the role of steel? Steel take the tensile stresses. So what is happen? Suppose now, if on any beam, suppose in a large quantity, if the tensile resistance, tensile forces is acting or tensile stresses is getting developed, then we provide more number of bars there. We provide more number of steel bars there. Why we provide? Because while designing these RCC structures, reinforced cement concrete structures, what is our assumption or on which basis we do this design? We assume that the entire tensile resistance is offered by the steel reinforcement only. Concrete will not give any resistance to the tensile reinforcement. Okay, so that is the point here they have mentioned. But in precast concrete, concrete can also offer some resistance for the tension also. But in RCC, we won't take that into the consideration as the tensile strength of the concrete it is very low. Okay. So the next point here, in the precast concrete member, all above weaknesses and defects are made up. Okay, so if you consider the pre-stressed concrete member, whatever the difficulties and weaknesses it is stated above in above 3 points are getting eliminated. Okay, those are getting eliminated. Okay, so next point is a pre-stressed concrete member is essentially a concrete member only, and the steel reinforcement are considered as the necessary device to supply the pre-stress to concrete. Okay. So how does the pre-stressing force is given to the concrete? How does the pre-stress is applied to the concrete? Through this steel bars. Okay, so in a pre-stressed concrete member, the pre-stressing force is applied to the concrete or given, it is not given directly to the concrete. I mean, I have shown you with the help of diagram previously. Okay, I have shown you at the in the first point itself how the pre-stress is given. So now you came to know that the pre-stress is not directly applied to the concrete, it is applied to the steel reinforcement. This is the most important thing. Okay. It is applied to the steel reinforcement and then it is transferred to the concrete. Then it is transferred to the concrete through steel. मतलब यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि हम डायरेक्टली कंक्रीट पे अप्लाई नहीं करते प्रिस्ट्रेसिंग फोर्स. What we do, we apply the pre-stressing force to the steel only, and then due to the bonding action between concrete and steel, it will automatically get passed to the concrete. This is what is happening in pre-stressed concrete member. Okay. To get the maximum advantage of pre-stressed concrete members, it is necessary to use high strength concrete and also high tensile steel. Okay, high strength tensile steel, high strength concrete. This is the important, and high strength steel. So you need to use the high grade of concrete and high grade of steel. So for the pre-stressed concrete Fe 500, sometimes Fe 550 is more preferably used. Okay, that is the high grade of steel, and then high grade of concrete minimum it is used as M30. Okay, M25, M30, M25 is the minimum for stressed concrete members. Okay, for large bridges, girders, M40, M45 also we can use in this pre-stressed concrete. Okay, and next point is the concrete used for pre-stressed work should have a cube strength of 35 Newton per mm square for post-tension system and 45 Newton per mm square for pre-tension system. Now these are the two systems of pre-stressing. Systems means what? How the pre-stressing is done. How we apply this pre-stressing force to the tendon or bar. Okay, so this is the one of the types: post tension systems and pre-tension systems. So in a pre-tension systems, what we do first, we will apply the tensile stresses to the steel bars. Okay, first we apply the tensile stresses to the steel bars, and those then we will put into the beam where the concrete is laid out. Okay, this is the first thing for pre-tension system, and for post-tension system, we apply the pre-stressing force after the bar is insert in the concrete or it is placed at its proper position. Then we pour the concrete on that steel bar, okay, in the beam, and then we will use the pre-stressing. Okay, then we will use the pre-stressing force. So here they have given you the values. These are very important values from the point of view of MCQ. 35 Newton per mm square for post tensioning and 45 Newton per mm square for pre tensioning. Okay. Cube strength. I am talking about cube strength. For what? Cube strength for pre-stressed concrete. Okay, Q stands for pre-stressed concrete. Now we will move to the next point. Is it clear? Whatever point I have told you up till now. Is it clear or any point you want to repeat it? If any point is there you want to repeat that point, then let me know. I will repeat it. Okay, no, ठीक. So we will move further. This again we will take in detail in DCS2 also these things are there. See now, this is the classification of pre-stressed concrete members. Okay, classification of pre-stressed concrete members. Classification basically it is done based on these three. Classification is done based on these three. First is externally and internally pre-stressed members. Second is linear and circular pre-stressing, and third is this. Now we have seen pre-tensioning and post-tensioning. These are the three different classifications of the pre-stressed concrete members. Depending upon the systems of pre-stressing, these classifications are made. Okay, so one by one we will see each and every classification. Okay, so first is the externally and internally pre-stressed members. So this is externally and internally pre-stressed members. Here a member can be pre-stressed by external reactions offered by the rigid abutments. It's called as external pre-stressing. So here is the diagram of external pre-stressing. जमत असलं तर ड्रॉ करून घ्या स्क्रीनशॉट काढण्यापेक्षा. If you draw the diagram you will remember it. Okay. So this is the pre-stressed member. You see the diagram. You can see that this diagram. Okay. This is the pre-stressed member. This is the jack assembly. Okay. This is the abutment. Okay. This is also abutment, and this is the jack, and this beam is supported over here. This type of assembly is there, while externally and internally you are pre-stressing the beam. Okay. So now if you see what is given over here, are you drawing the diagram? Instead of taking the screenshot, my suggestion is to draw the diagram, because once you remember the diagram you can easily remember this how it works. So here in the external pre-stressing, instead of providing the tendons from which the pre-stress can be applied, the necessary pre-stressing force can be applied by compressing the member by jack against the abutment as shown in figure. Okay. So here what they have said, in external pre-stressing, okay, when you pre-stress it externally, instead of providing the tendons from which pre-stress can be applied, okay, so instead of the providing the tendons by which the pre-stress can be applied, so here the pre-stress is directly applied to this concrete member. It is directly applied, and it is applied with the help of this jack and abutment. Okay, it is applied with the help of this jack and abutment. So here it is mentioned clearly. In the external pre-stressing, instead of providing the tendon from which pre-stress can be applied, the necessary pre-stressing force can be applied by compressing the member. Okay, by compressing the member by jacking and against the abutment as shown in figure. So directly this pre-stressing force is applied over here. Pre-stressing. Next point in this is a member can be pre-stressed by tensioning the tendon is called as internal pre-stressing. Now this is the external pre-stressing. This is the type which is the external pre-stressing. What is internal pre-stressing? A member can be pre-stressed by the tensioning the tendons is called as internal pre-stressing. It's called as internal pre-stressing. Okay, next type. Next is the linear or circular pre-stressing. So the term circular pre-stressing is applied to the pre-stressing circular structures. Okay. Pre-stressing circular structures like cylindrical tanks, silos and pipes, etc. Okay. The term circular pre-stressing is applied to the pre-stressing circular structures. So for the circular structures, this circular pre-stressing is used like cylindrical tank, silos, pipes, etc. In these cases, tendons are provided in the form of rings. Okay, rings means goal stirrups जे असतात ना तुमचे, either it is square, rectangular. Okay, same type, the circle rings are there. Okay, sometimes the rings are provided there, which are provided in cylindrical tanks and silos and pipes, etc. Whatever the circular structures are there, the reinforcement provided is also circular in that case. Okay. The linear, this is about the circular pre-stressing. For the linear pre-stressing is the term applied to the pre-stressing the straight members such as beams and slabs. Okay, it is applied to the straight members such as beams and slabs. This is the linear or circular pre-stressing. Actually, there should be a heading linear and circular pre-stressing. It should not be or. There should be and. Both, we have talked about both. Okay, so now we come to this part, pre-tensioning and post-tensioning. Pre-tensioning and post-tensioning. First, we will see what is pre-tensioning. So I will first cover the points and then we will discuss on this. So here pre-tensioning. So pre-tensioning, in a pre-tension members, the tendons are tensioned even before the casting of concrete. Tendons means reinforcing bars or steel. Okay, here in pre-stressed concrete, this is the tendons means bars, steel bars. Okay, tendon means here steel bars. Steel bars ला tendon म्हणायचं pre-stress असल्यावर. Steel bars. Okay, or reinforcement. Those are called as tendons. So here in pre-tension, now in name itself it suggests that pre means what? Pre means before. So it is tension before. That is pre-tension. So in pre-tension member, the tendons are tensioned even before the casting of concrete. So before casting of the concrete, when the tendons are tensioned, so that type of tensioning is called as pre-tensioning. Okay, and that type of member is called as pre-tension member. So here how it is done, one end of the tendons is secured to an abutment while the other end of the reinforcement is pulled by using a jack and then it is fixed to the another abutment. So here you can see the diagram. From diagram, this is the diagram. Okay, the reinforcement has been tensioned and then concreting has been done. Okay, so before moving to the diagram, we will understand this, what is given in these points. here the tendons wires are fixed to the abutments, and then these are tension before the casting of the concrete. Okay. Now after this, I will read the second point once again. One end of the tendon is secured to the abutment, while the other end of the reinforcement is pulled by using a jack. Okay, so jack assembly is there, which is used to pull the tendon, and now after that, then it is fixed to the another abutment. Okay. Next point is the concrete is now poured. After the concrete has been cured and hardened, the ends of the reinforcements are released from the abutment. Okay. So once this is done, one end of the tendon is securely tied to abutment. तो एक साइड है वो पहले एक साइड वो abutment को टाई कर दी जाएगी. ओके, आपका जो टेंडन है टेंडन का एक साइड, कौन सा भी एक साइड पहले अबटमेंट को क्या होगा, टाई कर दिया जाएगा. उसके बाद व्हाट इज टू बी डन ऑन द अदर एंड यूजिंग जैक we will give the tensile force to that, or it is tensioned by using the jack. Okay, and after we achieve the desired degree of tensioning force, so whatever as per our calculation or analysis, whatever the tensile force or tensile stress is required to be given, once we achieve that certain degree, then what we do, then the jack is removed and it is then fixed to the another abutment. So the second end is now fixed to the second abutment. Okay, and after doing all these things, now the concrete is get poured, and after the concrete cured and hardened, the end of the reinforcements are released from the abutment. It is released from the abutment means what, it is cut down from near to the surface of the beam. Okay, it is cut down. Then the reinforcement is now tends to regain its original length and it compress. See, you have given tension to the reinforcement. See, if I draw the diagram, this is your tendon. Okay, so your one end it is tied to the abutment. Here the abutment will be there, it is like this. Okay, so it is tied over here, and the second end it is pulled, so the tensile force is applied over here, T. It is pulled, the second end is pulled, and once we got the desired degree of this tensile force, okay, once we get the desired degree of this tensile force, this end also get tied up with the abutment. Then हम ये jack assembly remove करेंगे, और after removing that jack assembly we will tie this to the another abutment. Okay, we'll tie this to another abutment, and after this then the concrete is poured. और अगर मैं इसके साइड में बीम ड्रॉ करूं, तो बीम will be like this. This is the beam. This will be the beam. Okay, and now what they will do, once this concrete is hardened, once it is hardened, then it will cut down. Okay, once it is hardened,
You.
then it will cut down from this point. Okay, from here it will cut down near to the face, या इस पॉइंट से इसको कट कर दिया जाता है. Okay, so this remaining, now what will happen, this is the tendon. Okay, we have provided the tensile force, we have tensioned this. Okay, so tension की वजह से क्या होगा, this steel will try to elongate. स्टील का क्या होगा, elongation होगा जब आपने टेंसाइल फोर्स उस पे अप्लाई किया. तो अब आपने वो टेंसाइल फोर्स रिलीज कर दिया है, सब निकाल दिया है, and you have cut down the tendon from the abutments. तो उसके बाद क्या होगा, the steel will try to regain its original shape and size. Okay, steel will try to regain its original shape और size. जो expansion हुआ है वो expansion its original size तक आएगा. मतलब क्या होगा, वो कॉम्प्रेस होगा, ओके, ओरिजिनल साइज तक आएगा। तो वंस इट स्टार्ट्स कंप्रेसिंग इट विल passes the compressive force to the about concrete surrounding. See here, इधर क्या रहेगा, concrete, okay, so it will pass this compressive force to the concrete. So here that is mentioned, the reinforcement is now tends to regain its original length and it compress the concrete surrounding by its bond action. ओके ये कंप्रेस हो जाएगा, इलोंगेशन फर्स्ट हुआ था पहले, बाद में वो रिमूव करने के बाद स्टील क्या करने वाला है, उसका ओरिजिनल शेप एंड साइज क्या करने वाला है, वो रिगेन करने वाला है। तो एट दैट टाइम while regaining this steel is regaining its original shape and size, what will happen, it is compressing, steel is compressing, so the same force it is transferred to the concrete, okay, due to the bond action between steel and concrete, okay. Then next point, so the next point is the pre-stress is thus transmitted to the concrete entirely by the action of bond between the reinforcement and surrounding concrete, or in this way this pre-stressing force is transferred, okay, in this way this pre-stressing force is transferred, okay. So have you understood what is pre-tensioning? It is very important. Questions will be asked in the exam on this pre-tensioning. Is there any problem in this pre-tensioning? Let me know if it is there so that I will answer you. Is there any problem in this? Shall I repeat this or shall we move further? Have you understood? Yes, no? At least tell me something now. No or yes? What is to be done? Shall we move to the next point or you want me to repeat this pre-tensioning process once again? Why I am asking you again and again, because it is very important. Once you understand this, then you will understand the pre-stress. If you won't understand this, then it is very difficult to you for this pre-stress. And the thing is that it is asked in the competitive examination as well as it is there in your syllabus, DCS 2. Okay, so one reply is there, repeat. Okay, see I will tell you by drawing the diagram what is the pre-tensioning. Okay, we will move to our board. See abhi I will draw first, this is the beam. Okay, this is the beam. And now I will draw the tendon. This is the tendon. This is the bar. Okay. अभी इसमें क्या होता है कि इसका जो एक एंड है, the one end, any one end of the bar, it is tied up with the abutment. Okay, it is fixed with the abutment. So if I draw the abutment, abutment means what? It is the fixed pillar, a fixed big support. It is nothing but the abutment. In the case of the bridge, the end pillars of the bridge are known as the abutment. Okay, if you heard about the bridge now, you can notice one thing. In the RCC residential building, commercial building, normal structure like our college, home, the word we use is the column. Okay, the word we use is the column. And in the case of bridge, where the column size is very heavy, very large columns are there we use the word pillars. Okay, for that we call those pillars. Even though if you see the ancient temples where the large diameter or large size columns are there, we used to call them as the pillars. Okay, so pillars are nothing but those are the compressive members, but they are having a very large size. Those are not the regular columns which we seen in our day-to-day life. Okay, and these end pillars, when these end pillars are constructed at the end of the bridge, then that is called as the abutment. Okay, that is called as the abutment. Abutment is very large in size and which is the strong support provided. Okay, So those who don't know, for them I have given this introduction. What is the abutment? Now see, this is attached to, suppose now this end, this is fixed to this abutment. Okay, if I draw the abutment, it will be like this. I am roughly drawing it. This type of structure is there. This is the abutment. Okay, and this bar, if I extend further, it is tied up over here. Okay, ते कसं tied करते, काय करते, that is the different part again. Okay, how it is tied. Okay, this is the different part, that every time we go for the site visit for this. Okay, on site actually I used to tell the students how it is getting tied and how this process is going on, but right now it is online, it is going on. So you imagine this, it is tied to the apartment, so this end is tied. This is your abutment. Now here at the second end, ये end पे क्या होगा, तो at this end here also the abutment is there. Okay, this is the abutment at this end. Okay, this is your second abutment. Abutment means fixed support, I already told you right now. So ये जो अभी स्टील का इधर आया है, ये जो स्टील, तो उसको क्या होगा इधर कि it is not getting tied up directly. Here the jack assembly is there. Okay, here some jack assembly is there. I will draw like this. Suppose this is the jack, this is called as jack. Okay, now it is tied up at one end. ये जो side है इधर इसको बांध दिया गया है, it is tied up, and at this end the jack is attached to this rod. Okay, jack is attached to this rod, and with the help of this jack we apply the tensile force here. Okay, so I will show you in this way. Here the tensile force is applied. Which type of force is applied? Tensile. Okay, tensile force is applied. Now what will happen? Okay, now see, अब क्या होता है देखो इधर. Now this is the steel bar. This is your steel bar, and here the surrounding concrete is placed. Now once we get the desired degree of tensile force, suppose आपने कैलकुलेशन किया है, सब प्रिस्टेस का डिजाइन किया है, और आपको जो टेंसाइल फोर्स है वो डिजायर्ड 200 किलो न्यूटन पे चाहिए. Okay, once you apply the tensile force of 200 kilonewton, then your analysis says that it is okay and fine. Now the pre-stress will get developed in this member. This is your calculation. So what we'll do, when you started to apply the tensile force, अभी ऐसे तो नहीं होगा ना कि अभी आपने directly 200 kilonewton का tensile force apply किया है. It is not like that. We apply the tensile force gradually. It will start from 0, then 10, 20, 30, like 100, 110, 150 and 200. Once you reach to the level of this 200, I am taking you for your understanding, it is an example, it is not exactly 200. Okay, so it is once it reach to that 200 or any x value which is our desired value of the tensile force, then what we'll do, we will stop applying this force. First what we will do, we will stop applying this force, we will stop applying this force. Okay, ये फोर्स हम एग्जर्ट करना बंद कर देंगे मतलब ये जैक असेंबली जो है वो इधर से क्या करेंगे, रिमूव करेंगे. आफ्टर रिमूविंग दिस, ये जो टेंडन है, इस साइड का टेंडन जैसे टाई किया है हमने, ओके, दिस साइड टेंडन जैसे टाई किया है, वैसे ही ये जैक निकालने के बाद इसको भी टाइड अप करेंगे. किधर? इस अबॉटमेंट के साथ. ओके, so after removing the jack and once we tied up the second end also with the abutment, then what we'll do, after this we will pour the concrete. Here इधर क्या होगा, we will pour the concrete into the beam. Okay, we will pour the concrete into the beam. Okay, and once this poured concrete is hardened and settle down, then what we'll do, after this hardening, अभी तक हमने इसको कट बिट नहीं किया है, ये सिर्फ हमने जैक रिमूव किया है, ये टेंसाइल फोर्स जो अप्लाई किया था उसको स्टॉप किया है. ओके, and once this concrete is hardened, then we cut down this reinforcement from this point. यहाँ से हम इसको क्या करेंगे, कट कर देंगे, cut with the help of anything, any cutter or anything. Okay, large machines are there to cut these bars. So once we cut down from this point, then here now what will happen, see, जब आपने जैक असेंबली इधर अटैच की थी और टेंसाइल फोर्स लगाया था, तब क्या हो रहा था, इधर here in this steel elongation was there. क्या हो रहा था, elongation. ओके और जब आप यहाँ से इसको कट करोगे, अब आपने इधर से इसको कट कर दिया तो क्या होगा, फिर पहले ये जो इलोंगेट हुआ है स्टील, वो अभी क्या होगा, इट विल ट्राई टू रिगेन इट्स ओरिजिनल शेप एंड साइज. यू नो दैट स्टील इज द डक्टाइल मटेरियल. The failure of the steel is also elastic failure, and we apply the tensile load within the elastic limit up to the point where the stress is directly proportional to the strain. That also we will take into the consideration while applying this tensile force. So जब इसका elongation हुआ है, कब हुआ है, जब ये tensile force apply किया था तब. अब हमने ये tensile force remove किया है, जैक assembly remove की है और इसको इधर से कट किया है, तो क्या होगा, ये जो स्टील है अंडर का, ये जो टेंडन है बार, now this will try to regain its original shape and size. So while regain its original shape or size, अभी इसका elongation हुआ था, तो while regaining it will contract. Okay, it will contract. So once it starts contracting, the stresses are get transferred to this surrounding concrete. यहाँ से ये surrounding concrete जो है, इसको stresses transferred हो जाएंगे and these stresses are called as pre-stress. और ये सब हम इस टेंडन को स्ट्रेस देते हैं कंक्रीट पुअर करने से पहले. that is why it is called as pre-tensioned members. It is called as pre-tension. Okay, is it clear now? Yes, no, or once again you want to repeat this point? Are you getting the concept now, what I am trying to say you? Okay, clear, ठीक है. Okay, so remember this point. Once we cut down now, then the contraction of the steel starts, and while this contracting the steel, अभी क्या होगा, स्टील का contraction हो रहा है, तो contraction हो रहा है मतलब स्टील में compressive stresses डेवलप हो जाएंगे, और ये जो compressive stresses है ये किसको ट्रांसफर हो जाएंगे, इधर कंक्रीट को, and this is called as the pre-stress. This action is called as the pre-stress. और ये जो हम टेंसाइल फोर्स अप्लाई करते हैं इस स्टील को, ये कंक्रीट इधर पुअर करने से पहले स्टार्ट करते हैं. सो दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज द प्री टेंशन. दैट इज व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज द प्री टेंशन. ओके, नाउ वी विल मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. Okay, so this is the diagram. This point is over now, pre-tension. Now second, this is the post-tensioning now, post-tension. Okay, same thing is there. See what is the difference. We will see over here. So here, a post-tensioning member is one in which the reinforcement is tensioned after the concrete has fully hardened. Okay, मतलब इसमें क्या हो जाएगा, अभी पहले हम कंक्रीट उसमें पुअर करेंगे और once that concrete is hardened, then we will start applying the tensile force and we will start this pre-stressing process. Okay, pre-tension में क्या था, pre means before pouring the concrete, और post tensioning में क्या है, after pouring the concrete. Okay, concrete अभी अंदर डालने के बाद ये procedure start हो जाएगा. Okay. So fully hardened. The beam is first cast, leaving ducts for placing the tendons. The ducts are made by leaving the steel tubes in the concrete. Okay, जो बीम अब हम कंक्रीट की कास्ट करने वाले, तो इधर क्या होता है कि suppose now this is your beam. Okay, so while casting this beam, what they will do, they will insert here a tube. Okay, steel tube, एक ट्यूब रहेगी जो इधर इंसर्ट रहेगी. ओके, सो व्हेन यू पोर द कंक्रीट, ये ट्यूब का जितना एरिया है ना, वो एरिया छोड़ के सब जगह पे इधर कंक्रीट आ जाएगा. ये ट्यूब का जो एरिया है वो जगह छोड़ के सब जगह पे इधर क्या हो जाएगा, कंक्रीट एक्यूमुलेट हो जाएगा. कंक्रीट विल बी देयर एट ऑल ओवर द प्लेस एक्सेप्ट दिस स्टील ट्यूब. तो पहले क्या करते हैं कि इधर जो ये है बीम, बीम को क्या करने वाले हम, पहले फॉर्म वर्क लगाने वाले. फर्स्ट वी विल अटैच द फॉर्म वर्क लगाते टाइम क्या करेंगे, तो एट दैट टाइम वी इंसर्ट द स्टील ट्यूब इन दैट बीम. सो दिस स्टील ट्यूब इज द हॉलो स्टील ट्यूब. हॉलो स्टील ट्यूब उसमें रख दी जाएगी. सो क्या होगा उसके बाद, उसके ऊपर कंक्रीट, वी pour द कंक्रीट इन दैट. So what will happen? Except the area which is covered by this hollow steel tube, all other area will get filled by the concrete. That is why it is given in the second point. The beam is first cast having the ducts, leaving the ducts for the tendon. So duct means this is called as duct. Okay, this is called as duct. ये जो बीच में space छोड़ा है ना, this is called as duct. Okay, and the ducts are made by leaving the steel tube or by inserting the steel tube in the concrete. Okay, by inserting the steel tube in the concrete. So next point is when the concrete has hardened and developed its strength, the tendon is passed through the duct. जो अभी हमने डक्ट छोड़ा था उसमें से क्या करेंगे, हम टेंडन पास करेंगे. कब करेंगे, when the concrete is hardened and developed its strength. Okay, when the concrete is hardened and fully it gets developed, it gets its strength, then only we pass the tendon through that duct. One end is provided with an anchor and is fixed uh, one end of the member. Okay, so the same thing is there, it is fixed to the abutment or a strong support. ओके, एक एंड जो उसका रहेगा वो क्या करेंगे, हम फिक्स करेंगे. कहाँ पे भी फिक्स करेंगे, देयर मे बी अबटमेंट और एनी अदर स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट शुड बी देयर. ओके, तो वो टेंडन का एक जो एंड है वो हम फिक्स करेंगे, किसको, अबटमेंट ही समझ के चलो, उधर वी विल फिक्स इट टू द अबटमेंट. नाउ द अदर एंड of the tendon is pulled by the jack. Now the same procedure is there what we have seen in pre-tensioning. So जो दूसरा रिमेनिंग एंड है किसका, वो टेंडन का जो हमने अभी अभी इंसर्ट किया है, उसका एक एंड तो हमने फिक्स कर दिया किसी सपोर्ट को लगा के. अदर एंड जो है उसका दूसरा एंड, द अदर एंड ऑफ द टेंडन इज पुल्ड बाय द जैक. It is pulled by the jack. Jack is used to give the tensile force which is due to which the pre-stress is getting developed. Okay, due to which the tendon compresses the concrete. और वो compress कैसे होगा ये मैंने सब डिटेल आपको बताया अभी. Due to this jack assembly, tensile force is there, so due to tension elongation will be there in the steel. After you remove all the load and everything, if that force is within the elastic limit, then steel is a ductile material, it will try to regain its original shape and size. And once it is, firstly it is elongated, now when you remove that tensile force it will start contracting, and when that process is started of the contraction, then during that contraction it will passes the stress to the concrete. ओके, सिर्फ फर्क इतना है कि पोस्ट टेंशनिंग में हम ये सब कब करते हैं, आफ्टर पोरिंग द कंक्रीट. एंड प्री टेंशनिंग में क्या है, बिफोर पोरिंग द कंक्रीट वी विल डू एवरीथिंग. इन पोस्ट टेंशनिंग ओनली देयर इज अ माइनर चेंज, आफ्टर पोरिंग द कंक्रीट वी विल डू दिस. ओके, सो हम कंक्रीट करते टाइम पे क्या ध्यान रखेंगे, वी विल इंसर्ट अ हॉलो स्टील ट्यूब इन दैट बीम so that some space will be there to insert that tendon. Okay, and once the concrete is hardened and gets its full strength, then we pass the this tendon through that duct or through that space which we have keep in that beam. Okay, so again the same thing is there here. After the tendon is subjected to the desired stresses, the end of the tendons are properly anchored to the concrete. Okay, so the same thing is there, and once we get the desired degree we will cut down this tendon, and now this process is called as post tensioning system. This system is called as the post tensioning system. Okay, here the only thing is that anchor plate is provided over here. Anchor plate means what, there is one plate which is made up of steel or any other material, mostly it is made up of steel, Why we use the anchor plate? Because जो हम जैक लगाने वाले हैं, so जैक से जो हम टेंसाइल फोर्स लगाएंगे वो टेंडन पे, वो सब जगह सेम इवनली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो, इसलिए हम ये लगाते हैं इधर एंकर प्लेट। और दूसरी बात यह है कि while pulling out this while pulling out this we apply the tensile load। so due to this tensile load, ये जो कंक्रीट का एरिया है, इधर जो सराउंडिंग कंक्रीट का एरिया है, अगर इसका क्रॉस सेक्शन आप देखेंगे तो क्रॉस सेक्शन कैसा होगा, दिस इज द क्रॉस सेक्शन। ओके, और इसको परपेंडिकुलर आपका टेंसाइल फोर्स आप अप्लाई कर रहे हो, टेंसाइल फोर्स कैसा रहेगा, tensile force will be like this is your tensile force। okay, this is the tensile force। if you see the axis, this is the axis, this angle is 90 degree। okay, this angle is 90 degree। so when you apply this tensile force, there are the chances that now I am talking about concrete, this is concrete beam, I am not talking about steel। यहाँ से वो स्टील का बार बाहर आ चुका होगा, लेकिन I am talking about the concrete। what will happen when you apply this tensile force, due to this tensile force there may be the chances of cracks getting developed in this cross section due to uneven loading। ओके, ड्यू टू अनइवन लोडिंग। तो ये लोडिंग पूरा इवनली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो इस कंक्रीट पे, इसलिए हम इधर एक प्लेट लगाते हैं, और दैट प्लेट इज कॉल्ड एज बेरिंग प्लेट और एंकरेज प्लेट। दैट प्लेट इज कॉल्ड एज बेरिंग प्लेट और एंकरेज प्लेट। ओके, दैट इज provided here in post tensioning। in pre tensioning also it should provide, it must be provided, but sometimes it is not provided in pre-tensioning as it is not required, but in post-tensioning it is provided। okay, so I hope now you understood what is the anchor plate and why it is provided। so again the same thing is there, in this way the pre-stressing force is getting developed in this post-tension member। okay, in this post-tension member। so this is the diagram, you if you want you can take the screenshot of this। okay, this is the hollow steel tube and this is the tendon which is insert over there, this is also called as duct, which is made up of hollow steel tube। okay, is it clear now? Post tensioning system, is it clear what is pre-tensioning, what is post tensioning? Yes, no? If you give me reply fast, then we can save the time। hmm? Otherwise I'm waiting for your reply। or shall I repeat it once again? Let me know fast, have you understood? okay, yes, ठीक है। okay, so now we will move further। see, now we will see the different methods of pre-stressing। what are the different methods by using which the pre-stressing is done? okay, so the different methods, there are many different methods are there, but based on this pre-tensioning and post-tensioning system there are 3 to 4 methods that should be known to you। okay, so in pre-tensioning there is only one system, that is Hoyer system for pre-tension concrete members, and for post-tensioning system that is the Freyssinet system, Gifford-Udall system and Lee-McCall system। these are the systems of pre-stressing। systems means what, हम जो अभी ये सब कर रहे हैं, प्रीस्ट्रेस अप्लाई करना, वो टेंडन कट करना। ओके, so to apply the pre-stress in the proper manner to the structure or to the member, there are some standard process which are set, and those are set by the different scientists and their names are given to that system। so this Hoyer system means what, there was a scientist and professor Hoyer, he has invented that system। So that is called as Hoyer system. The Freycinet system, Freycinet is also the name of a person who has invented that system to apply the pre-stressing force to the member. Okay, so that is why the names are like this. So first is this pre-tensioning system. So in the pre-tensioning system, the first and foremost system is the Hoyer system. एक ही यहाँ पे आपको system मिलेगी. It is called as Hoyer system. This is very popularly used for the pre-tensioning system. See here, what are the points? The Hoyer system is usually adopted for production of pre-tension members on large scale. When you want to produce the pre-tension member on a large scale, then you should adopt this Hoyer system. So what does this system says? The method consists of stretching the wires between the two bulkheads at a large distance apart. Okay, wires means tendon. So here you can see this is the tendon. A single tendon is passed through all three beams. Okay, and it is attached end to end, and these are the fixed supports. These are called as bulkheads. These are called as bulkheads, and from one bulkhead to another bulkhead, a tendon is passed. Okay, and it is passed through number of beams, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it may be, but the single tendon is passed through all the beams. Okay, then here the concrete is now poured so that the number of beams can be produced in one line. So एक दो तीन जितने भी बीम रहेंगे उस सब बीम में कंक्रीट भर दिया जाएगा. Okay, in all beams the concrete is poured. Then after the concrete has hardened, the wires are released from the bulkheads. Okay, so पहले जब ये bulkhead को tie कर दिए जाएंगे, that at that time here the jack assembly is there which is attached to one of the bulkhead, and by using this jack assembly we apply the pre-stress, okay, tensile force to this tendon. Okay, and then this tensile force will get developed in this tendon. Then after that we pour the concrete over here, and once this concrete is hardened and it gets its strength, these wires are cut off or released from the bulkhead. Okay, the wires are released from the bulkhead. So इधर से ये वायर को क्या कर दिया जाएगा, रिलीज कर दिया जाएगा. फिर the wires between the different units of the beam are also cut off. So here यहाँ से ये देखो first wire, this wire will get cut off from this point. यहाँ से यहाँ कहीं तो कट हो जाएगा ये. Second wire will cut off from this point. Okay, third wire will get cut off from this point. As I have shown only three beams, so from these points these wires are cut off. Okay, and the pre-stress is transferred to the concrete through bond action between the tendons and the concrete. Now how this pre-stress is transferred, again the same principle is there. Once you cut off the wire, the extended steel, the elongated steel will try to regain its original shape and size. So during this process the pre-stress will get transferred, that is the compressive stress is getting transferred to the concrete through steel. Okay, and this pre-stress is transferred to the concrete, and the multiple beams can be cast at the same time by using this Hoyer system. By using this Hoyer system you can do this. Okay. Here you can see the diagram and the name. This is called as casting bed on which the beams are kept. This is the continuous tendon. The single tendon is passed. These are called as bulkheads. Here it is the jack assembly to apply the tensile force. So this whole system is known as Hoyer system. This whole system is known as Hoyer system. Here you should remember the point that this is pre-tensioning system first. Second point is that this system is used when you have to cast the multiple beams at a time. On large scale, if you want to cast the beams, then this type of system is used. If you want to cast the single beam at a time, then there is no need to use this system, Hoyer system. If you want to cast 3, 4, 5, 6 n number of beams at the same time, then we can use this system. Okay, is it clear what is the Hoyer system? So after the Hoyer system, we will go to the next Presinet system. This is the post tension system. Okay. So the points for the Presinet systems are: the Presinet system was the first to be introduced among the post tensioning system. So it is the first process, firstly introduced the process amongst the all pre-tensioning system processes. Okay, if I show you the diagram will be like this. This is the Freycinet system. Okay, so what is there? I will explain you. Just see the diagram and take down the diagram or take the screenshot. Okay, now we will go point by point, then you will understand. High tension steel wires 5 mm to 8 mm in diameter, about 12 in numbers, are arranged from a group into a cable with spiral spiral spring inside. Okay, so here you can see these are the tendons, high tendons, tensile steel tendons. 5 mm to 8 mm bar is also there. Okay, and this is get inserted from here. This is called as male cone. Okay, this is duct former. High tensile wires. These are the wires which 5 to 8 mm diameter should be there. This is the female cone. This is called as male cone. This is called as female cone. So okay. So we were talking about this Presinet system. This system we will see Presinet system today. Remaining part we will take in next lecture. Okay. So this is the what we can say. Wires 5 mm to 8 mm diameter are inserted. What we do, we generally take the wires of 5 mm to 8 mm in between that diameter, and we will group 10 or 12 wires, and that wires we will put into a single cable. Okay, that wires we will put into the single cable, means what I want to say here. Okay, these are the steel wires. Okay, so we group 10 to 12 steel wires, and we will keep that steel wires in a single. I will repeat once again. Here these are the steel wires. Okay, so we group 10 to 12 steel wires together, and we will keep that into a cable. That cable is having more diameter. Okay, so cable is act like a coating, and inside that steel wire will be there. So that is given in this point. The spiral springs provided clearance between the wedges. Thus, it provides the channel which can be cement grouted. The whole thing is enclosed in a thin metal sheet. Okay. The anchorage consists of cylinder with central conical hole, is provided with heavy reinforcement. So I have already shown it is in I have already it is shown in the diagram. Okay. Then the central hole passing axially permits the cement ground to the injected through it. The prestressing force is transferred to the concrete by high tensile steel wires because of bond action. Because of bond action, here it will get transferred. Okay, so inside this, here the grouting is also done inside this. Once you press this here, okay, and outside also here you can see the coating is there of the wires. So the tensile stress will get developed after uh, you push this inside into this male cone is pushed inside into the female core, and then the cables are pre-stressed. So for on the cables the tensile force is acted, so that in between this here in the female core the tensile stress will get converted into the compression in the case of the concrete, and then the pre-stress can be developed in that. Okay, so this is the Freycinet system. So I hope now up to this point it is clear to everybody what is taken today. So if you have taken the screenshot of this, then while coming to the next lecture, please read these things. Okay, so in the next lecture we will take the remaining system, and then I will tell you what is stress concept, strength concept, load balancing concept, and then we will take the questions based on this pre-stress. Okay, so for today we will stop over here. You can drop your attendance into the chat box.